All right, I've cut me a piece of material 2 7/8, and the way I arrived at that number was I measured the distance on the trailing edge of my wing between the two pieces of carbon, and it happened to be 2 7/8. So that's what I cut my piece. And now what I'm going to do is radius the corners, all 4 corners, and the upper corner is going to have a little more radius than the bottom corners. But we're just going to make them round, just like that. Okay, and this here need a little tighter radius, like that, and like that. And it's going to make it easy if I bring my trailing edge of my wing back to the edge of my building board. And so I'm going to peel this. Okay, the next thing I want to do is go ahead and flip this over. We're going to add a strip of material from up here all the way back to the trailing edge, and it's actually going to fold over, so we need it to be about a 1/2 inch longer. And right now I've got 9 1/4 from the highest point, so I'm going to make this 9 3/4 for my strip that goes over the back, off a line so that I know exactly where that strip's got to go to. So I'm going to go from the center out 1 inch, and the center out 1 inch, and then I'm just going to put a line on this side, and that's going to be where I put the tape. And I can check it, see how it lines up, and that looks like it lines up pretty good. So I'm going to peel it off. We're going to stick it in place. So the backbone's going to go on, and we do have a line here that we can use to help install the backbone. So first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and lift the backing off of the backbone, the double-sided tape. And now I'm going to carefully place my backbone in place, and I'm not going to let it touch until I'm ready and sure that I have it in the proper place. And now my backbone is in place, and then I'll just turn this over. Adding another piece of tape over the first piece of tape that I put on, and this piece of tape needs to be 8 3/4, is where the other one was 9 3/4. Okay, so now I'm going to place this piece of tape right over the other piece of tape. To secure the rear of it, and we're going to do that with a couple of 3/4 inch pieces of material that are going to have radiused corners. And so in a sense what we're going to do is set this down and fold this around and up onto the back side. So pretty simple deal. So we're just going to put this on, and I'm going to catch the radius point here and the radius point there with a 3/4 inch piece, and I'm going to push it down like that. And now I'm going to use my trusty spatula here so that I get that right down where it needs to be. And then we're going to press that down. One last press on all the tape in this area. Okay, for each wingtip I need 2 pieces 6 1/4 inches, and I need 1 piece that's 7/8 of an inch. And first off, what we do is we take the 7/8 of an inch piece, and I'm going to go right over the edge here with it and center it and let it wrap around on both sides. And what I mean by that is simply this: I'm going to place it down, about center it right here on the point, let that run that way, and then let this go straight across, around, and back onto itself. And we're going to squeegee this down, and what that's going to do is that'll keep the leading edge here locked closed. Okay, and now I'm ready to go ahead and install the other 2 pieces. And so we want to start on the bottom, so make sure you put the bottom piece on first. And what we want to do is we want to match one corner here and then this corner up there on this line, and then I want to mark that so that I can put this back down in the same place. So we mark it there and we mark it there. Now I can go ahead and peel this back, and I'm going to take a piece and put there and a piece put here. This will keep this from sticking to the table. So let's go ahead and put this down. I'm going to set this right over the mark that I had put on there, and I'm going to push this down really well. Now I can take this up. This piece here up front is going to simply fold over, and you want to take your time and make sure that's up against there tight, and then you want to mash that down really good. And again, this is the top side. This piece of tape I just put on is on the bottom side. So now I'm going to take and trim this so that it's trimmed back to the wing. And now I can go ahead and add the second piece, which would be the piece that goes over the top of that. So again, I'm going to put some tape down here so it doesn't stick to the table. And then I want to set this piece right over, starting at the batten here and going all the way up to where this edge here meets with this edge here. And because I did the other side before I started the video, it's already done as well. Okay, the final step to this is to go ahead and cut this notch. And I cheat, I do it the easy way. I have a soldering iron that I use to cut my fabric with when I make parachutes. And so I'm using it to cut the slot. And so pretty much all I have to do is find the slot and lay that into it and move it, and it will cut the slot. Just like that. And then like this. And now I let that cool off, and then take the X-Acto blade and go back and pull out the cut material, and I wind up with a finished slot. Bottom side and the top side. So there's a look at the finished wing and the latest version of the build. And it's going to be a few days before I get a chance to fly it, but I did go ahead and get it built so that there was no delay in getting the information out there. If you have any questions about this build, feel free to send me an email, but I have to apologize for the videos being so long, but you know what, there's a lot of information there, and hopefully you find it useful and actually enjoy the time you spend watching the videos. Thanks for your time, and enjoy the hobby.